Hello, I'm Abrielle Millett, and I'm here with BYU-Idaho Radio in the studio with
This is Lieutenant Hirschi and Sarge.
Sarge. Is that the name of the new puppy?
Yeah, his name's Sergeant, but we call him Sarge all the time.
Aw, that's such a cute name. Can you tell me a little bit about your work and what you do?
So right now I'm lieutenant over all the school resource officers, community policing, which includes the animal shelter as well. And so I just supervise all the school resource officers. I go to all the schools, check in, and just kind of bounce back and forth all over the place, it seems like.
Oh, that's awesome. And with the schools, is that middle schools, elementary, high schools, all of it?
So yeah, I have one guy at each one of the secondary schools. So the middle school, junior high, high school, and then central high school. And then each one of them is assigned a elementary as well.
That's nice. That's nice. And how long have you been doing this work?
I've been with the police department for 23 years.
Nice. Is this what you've been doing the whole time, is working with the schools?
No, I was on patrol for probably 10 years or so. And then I went into the schools just as a resource officer, and I've been in charge the last 4 years, maybe 3 years.
Yeah. And can you tell me a little bit about Sarge? Is this often that you guys get new puppies, or what's it like in the police department?
So we've had canine dogs before, but they're mainly been like drug dogs. Back when I was on patrol, I actually had a bomb dog and an apprehension dog. And then I had a drug dog after that. Sarge is actually the very first therapy dog we're working with now. And it's just a new thing that we've put together and are going to give it a try and see how it works.
Oh, that's exciting. And so that's why you guys want him to be super friendly with the kids.
Yeah.
What kind of dog is Sarge?
So Sarge is a Bernedoodle, so Bernese Mountain Dog, and a poodle, and he's a miniature as well, so he'll get probably around 35 pounds, somewhere in there.
And how old is he?
Right now he is approximately 15 weeks.
15 weeks.
Yeah.
Pretty young.
Yeah, he's still just a puppy, just kind of just learning and kind of letting him just grow up, and then we'll start doing some pretty serious training here pretty soon as well.
What kind of training would you guys do for a puppy?
For him, it'll just be a lot of obedience stuff, making sure he can sit, lay down, stay, all that stuff. If I was to walk away, he'd be okay just to lay there and, let somebody pet him. And there's just certain little things that we'll do, and then we'll try and get him certified as a therapy dog eventually as well.
That's so nice. That's awesome. I've never had a pet dog. So how would you describe how do you train a dog to be obedient? What's the trick to teaching a dog, especially a young pup?
Yeah. So puppies are always hard. The first couple weeks with him was just trying to, work on the potty training and making sure that he wasn't going to the bathroom in all the schools and doing all that. So it's just a constant watching him and making sure that if he goes to go to the bathroom, you hurry and get him outside, and, just doing some work with him there. The biggest thing is to find out what drives a dog, what makes him want to do things for you. Sarge is very food driven. He loves treats. And so, right now, just getting him to sit, giving him a treat, getting him to do his lay down, all these other things, and giving him a treat, and he does pretty well with that. He really likes to perform for treats.
What does he know, any tricks?
Yeah, so he'll sit, he'll lay down. We're working on shake right now. If I tell him to stay and walk away a little ways and then call him, he'll come to me. Just little things like that so far.
And are you the main person in charge of the training of the puppy, or?
Yeah, I'm doing most of it right now. We'll get some other people involved eventually, some trainers and things like that. But where I had a dog before, I learned a lot about training dogs. And so I've just been doing it a little bit here and there on my own.
Oh, that's awesome. So you trained other dogs for the police department
No, just
or just this
the
one?
ones that I had before. We trained with them every week. So
Mm-hmm.
with those type of dogs, it's constant training every day, constantly, training and keeping them fresh and up to date on everything.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is, I guess, uh, what's the value and what's the great thing that a dog brings to a police department?
So, I mean, there's different uses for all of them. Our drug dogs, they're used to to find drugs. We bring them into the school sometimes, have them run through the parking lots, have them run through the classrooms, trying to keep the drugs out of the schools and things like that. Um, we have, the one that I had before was a bomb dog, so it would detect bombs. So before any speakers or anything went up on a stage, he would sweep the stage and make sure there was nothing on there. Just just things like that. For the therapy dog, it's just, there's a lot of kids that are having a lot and hard times in life, and they're dealing with things, and a lot of times these dogs will just get them to calm down and relax, and then they can talk to you while they're getting some therapy with the dog there. So it just pretty much, I tell everybody his job is just to make people happy.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. There's something special about a puppy or any small little animal. It brings a lot of comfort, with
Yeah.
animals. They're very loving.
Yeah, he's been really good. He's done a lot of work in the schools already, and he's not, even trained, but kids that don't want to go to class, and they'll come over and pet him and play with him for a little while, and then they'll be like, "Okay, I think I'm ready to go to class," and they'll go to class, and just we've taken him through all the special needs classrooms, and they really enjoy seeing him, and so he's been a benefit already.
That's super special. And you said this is the first therapy training dog that you guys have
Yeah,
done.
for the Rexburg Police Department. Yeah, Idaho Falls has a couple now. I know that they've used, and we just kind of saw it being brought into the schools and thought, this is something we ought to do, and I think it will be beneficial for us too.
That's super nice. I can see that being a huge benefit. As you've already said, it's been something that's helped kids already feel more comfortable, more motivated, more secure. Do you see um, this growing, like having more therapy dogs in the future, or just sticking with one for now?
Um, I think there's definitely a chance that it could grow. Um, I think it just it everything takes money, everything takes time from officers to put into the program, and so it just trying to figure out budget wise and make sure it's going to work and how it's going to work exactly with budgets. You have vet bills and food bills and things like that, so it's just a matter of getting all that worked out and seeing what's going to actually work for us and what isn't.
Yeah. Does Sarge have uh for those listeners who might just be listening, we'll take a picture for sure. But can you tell us kind of like what he looks like? What if they saw Serge on the street, how would they find him? What would he look like or what's his personality?
So I think the biggest thing that everybody talks about is just how fluffy he is and how soft he is, and he's really fluffy. He's got a lot of different colors in him, which is something that was really cool when we picked him out. Is he just has all this different color, some browns and grays and blacks, and um, I don't know, just his overall look is unique, I believe. Um, and he was actually donated by a place called Farm Beach Puppies. It's here in Rexburg, and they let me go over and sit down with all the dogs and choose which one I wanted. And Sarge just kind of came over and chose me, so that's how we ended up with him.
Oh, that's super special. What what is his how would you describe his temperament, his personality?
A lot of the time he's super calm. He just, I mean, I go to meetings all the time where I'm a supervisor, and he'll lay down on the floor and he'll just lay there and sometimes fall asleep, and other times just play with his toys or his leash or things like that. So he's very good with people. He loves people. He loves to go up and get pet. Um, you can tell when he's had enough, when he'll just move away from everybody and try and get away from people being around him a little bit so he can have a break. But most of the time he just loves to be around, and he loves the attention.
Yeah, I can see that. He's very sociable.
Yeah.
Even not knowing us in the studio, he's already gone up and likes being pet.
Yeah. That's something that has been, I mean, since the first day that I got him, taking him into the schools, and just as a small puppy, just having 30 kids just surround him and start petting on him, and it's made it so that he's not afraid, he's not scared of it. He does really well with it.
What is something that a student or some kid has said that you're like, this is totally worth it, this puppy? What has been like the best reaction?
So I don't know, like a voice, anything that somebody's actually said, but just to see kids light up when he shows up. And there was one special needs kid at the school that he just you could just tell he was just so happy to see him, and he lit up and just came over and said, "Oh, I love you, Sarge," and just pet on him and sat there and played with him forever. And it just kind of, you could tell it changed his day and the way that he was doing that day. So he just really makes a difference in people and the way that their day is going, I think.
Oh, that's sweet. Do you so you said that you guys have been going to a bunch of the schools. Are you guys visiting a school coming up?
Yeah, so I all day long in the mornings I'll usually go to an elementary school as the kids are getting there in school. I don't take him when kids are in the middle of class. Like it's not a distraction. I don't want it to be a distraction. But I'll go for recesses. I'll go for lunch times. I'll just go walk around the halls, and if kids are out, they can come over and pet him real quick and go back to class. But I go to schools every day, so either an elementary or middle school or junior high, or then I'll stop by the high school, and the kids over there still same reaction. Like they just love to see him, and everybody says, "Hey, it's Sarge," and they come over and pet him. And so we're constantly working in the schools and going in and just enjoying, the kids.
Yeah, and once he gets more comfortable, will you guys do those visits as frequently, or is this just to start him off?
We'll continue to go in the schools quite a bit. My hope eventually is that, the counselors and the school resource officers, if they have a kid that's having a hard time, that they'll just get on the phone and call me, and I can drive over to that school and have him in the room with them while they're talking to him, trying to calm him down, and use him as a help that way. That's the ultimate goal, is that we're getting called over to the schools to, have him help kids.
Do you consider this the best part of being a police officer? Do you think this is working with the dogs is probably, or working specifically with Sarge is kind of like the dream job?
Yeah, I mean, ever since I got into the schools, it's been amazing. Like it's just
You can bring him up. Oh,
it's just a different type of policing. So you get to actually help people without seeing all the negative all the time. I mean, you still see negative. You see kids that are struggling, kids that are having, bad home lives and things like that. But you can actually change a kid's path. And so being an SRO is probably one of the best jobs in the police force, just because you get to see that. I have kids that I've had when I was working at the junior high that will come up to me and say, "Hey, good to see you again, and this is what I'm doing," and they're living these good lives when, maybe in the junior high they were getting in trouble and causing problems and things like that, but they changed and they moved on, and they thank you for what you've done to help them. And So you get to see a lot of positive. And I think, Sarge just brings that extra aspect to it. And, I get to have this cool little dog and take him with me and watch people light up and be happy and excited to see him.
No, he's super fun. What do you think is Sarge's ideal day? If he could pick his day, where would he go?
Just really any of the elementaries, the kids just love him. They just circle around him and they all just stay by him the whole time he's there. And then, ideally, I think it'd be great, like I said before, just to have these people calling and saying, hey, I've got somebody that really could use him. And so for him to go over and get to hang out with them, he likes to go out to recesses and he chases the kids and the kids chase him and it's back and forth and it gets him all wore out and he gets to go in the office when they're not out on recess and fall asleep and take a rest. And so for him, it's just constantly getting to see different things and do different things all day long.
He definitely probably has the best life.
Yeah.
He gets to play and have fun and be social all
take
day.
Naps all
Take
the time.
naps. We all wish we had Sarge's life.
Yeah, for real. That would be nice.
Thank you so much for coming. This has been Abrielle Millett with BYU-Idaho Radio, and I've been here in the studio with Lieutenant Hirschi. Thank you so much for coming. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
I appreciate it.
And Sarge, maybe you can, does Sarge want to say a thing? It's okay if he licks the mic.
He's pretty quiet. He doesn't bark. He doesn't make much noise unless he's playing and chasing. So
yeah, he's a pretty calm dog.
Yeah, he's pretty chill. He just hangs out.
Just so everyone knows, Sarge is at the mic saying hi.